Welcome back to the Create Eudaimonia podcast. My name is Christina Angelos and I am your host. And I really want this podcast to become just like a fun little space where we get to chit chat and talk about life and philosophy and art and creative living. Because ultimately, the way you create eudaimonia in your life is through just embodying and practicing creative habits that bring you joy. It's really, really that simple. And through unconditional love, your relationships, eating good food, moving your body, being in nature, disciplining your thoughts, and just like allowing yourself to flow creatively is what creates human flourishing. It's what allows you to just become and embody the best version of yourself. And so it's through these habits and skills that we're able to create a life of eudaimonia. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic of self-control and discipline. So in ancient Greek philosophy and in Orthodox philosophy, so the Orthodox Christian saints came up with this concept of sophrosini. And what sophrosini means, it's like this spiritual discernment, and it's a way to control your thoughts, to control your mind. And the Orthodox saints did this to become closer to God. And so a big part of eudaimonia is really knowing and understanding and having a deep spiritual relationship with your creator, aka with God. And for every single person, it's going to be so different and so personal. But this is a true foundation to creating joy in your life, is having a relationship with God, because God is what grounds you. God is the one that feeds your soul wisdom. God is the one that brings joy into your heart, into your spirit. The first step is accepting God and having Him as a big part of your life. And so right now, if you are listening to this and you are like, I don't know God, I've never talked to Him, I just want you to hear me out and listen to what I have to say. Because seriously, I believe that believing in God is a true necessary pillar to creating eudaimonia. Because when you allow yourself the silence and the peace in your life to listen to your heart, because God lives within each and every one of us. God is within our spirit, within our soul. God lives inside of our heart. And so society tries to push down, and suppress us from thinking and feeling and processing and talking to ourselves. But what sophrosini does, sophrosini is this philosophy that makes us practice talking to God at every moment of every day through disciplining our thoughts. And so for the Orthodox saints, this looked like doing the Jesus prayer. And so they would say, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And they would repeat the Jesus prayer over and over and over again. And it's this mental repetition and spiritual practice, communicating with God, having a conversation with God, redirecting your thoughts throughout the day to come back to think about God, no matter what activity you're doing, like whatever you're doing, if you're gardening, if you're cooking, if you're out and about and you're doing random things and you notice your mind start to wander or start to, think of the future or think of the past, and you begin to become anxious about, stuff that doesn't really matter, you're not living in the present and your mind is not focused on God. And that creates stress, it creates chaos in your mind, it creates inner turmoil, and it's just honestly not necessary and it's not needed. But you need to understand this mental discipline and this mental skill in order to create eudaimonia. This is really the first foundational step, is to acknowledge God as your creator and to continue to build a relationship with Him over and over and over again at every moment of every single day of your life and every moment of your life. And honestly, this is the main goal of, us as human beings, is to feel the presence of God and to feel His joy and His unconditional love, and to experience it through nature, experience God's presence through nature, experiencing God through our friends, through the people we love, because remember, God lives within all of us. And so seeing God within other humans brings us so much joy. And so I really, really, really want you, the main takeaway from this conversation is to notice your thoughts throughout your day. Notice if your thoughts are negative or if your thoughts are positive, or what it is your thoughts are thinking. Are your thoughts thinking, I am worthy, I am successful, I am creating generational wealth for my family, I am nourishing my family through cooking for them, I'm providing for my family by growing a garden, I'm creating beautiful works of art to share with the world. Like, these thoughts that you tell yourself can really alter your internal reality, so that way it can translate into your external reality. And so everything in your life starts with how you think about it, how you are internalizing it, and how your spirit feels. And you're able to control your thoughts. And I know a lot of us humans, we have fearful thoughts, and we have thoughts that, like, we get scared. We're like scared to take action. We're scared to, do something that's maybe uncomfortable or unfamiliar to us. Like, even me sitting down today to record this podcast, it's really like uncomfortable for me. And I've had to take a lot of takes. I've had to like do this like mental gymnastics with myself to get to this point where I'm like, you know what? I want to do this. I have something to share with the world. I need to communicate what I have to say. And I can't just keep self-sabotaging myself to not record. And so it's just like one of those things that it's like your thoughts are so powerful, and it's like if you let them consume you, they will. And it's like if you let your negative thoughts and your fears, fear of being perceived by someone else, fear of failing, fear of being bad at something. I think people too like are scared to take action and are scared to, start taking action on creating their dream life and creating Eudaimonia. It starts with like this fear, because at the beginning it feels really, really, really hard because you don't know what you're doing yet. It's like uncomfortable and it's scary. And as human beings, we love feeling comfortable. We love doing things that we're used to. We love doing things that make us feel safe and make us feel calm. We love the comfort that consistency brings over time. But you have to really take inventory of your actions and notice, are these actions, am I too comfortable? Am I too comfortable sitting around and doing nothing? Like, is this my comfort zone? And if you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing and you're not evolving and you're not becoming better and you're not changing and you're not creating Eudaimonia, because you're staying the same. And so in order to, create Eudaimonia, you have to push yourself. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. You have to do the things. And I know this thought is like circulated a lot, and especially if you're into, self-help and all the cool things and like making your life better. I'm sure you hear this all the time. It's like you just have to get out of your comfort zone, but it's easier said than it is to do it, because getting out of your comfort zone requires you to feel extremely uncomfortable. It requires you to be extremely bad at something. Like when I first started drawing, for example, when I was in college, I had never taken a drawing class. I had never taken a painting class. I was so clueless. I was so uncomfortable. I was in these college level art courses with zero clue what I was doing. I felt embarrassed. I felt like a fraud. I felt like everyone was gonna know that like I wasn't like a real like artist. I don't even know. Like, it was so silly at the time. And I was just like, what am I doing here? I feel like I don't belong. But you know what? I just like doodled. I was just doodling, and I would doodle like the most randomest things. The kid next to me would be drawing like a perfectly like analytically like correct human body, like with values and like looked super three-dimensional. And I was just like, yeah, I can't do that. And I was doodling black and white drawings, which you guys know that then translated into my art style later. But the point is, when I first started, I didn't know anything, and I just did it anyways. I just started small, I think. And I think the little increments and the little baby steps makes it easier to get the ball rolling. You don't have to do it all in one day. And I think that's the other thing. Like, people think like, in order to change my life, I have to change everything all at once, and it's not true. The success is found when you just start with one small thing and stick with it and do it every single day. And so for me, when I was in college, I would draw on these little pieces of paper, on literally like Post-it notes. I don't have like props with me, but I'm throwing these out of my drawer, but little baby pieces of paper, and I would just fill them up with literally random lines and shapes, and that was it. Like, I literally just did that every day for 30 days because it was an assignment from my professor, and my professor was trying to teach us the power of the daily practice. And it really clicked with me because I saw how simple it was to create every day. I saw that it didn't have to be a 40-foot painting every day. 40 foot, I meant like 4-foot painting every day. That's not really realistic. It's not realistic to go from not making art to painting a giant canvas. It takes habitual baby steps. And so for me, what that looked like was, okay, I know I love art. I know I want to do this. I know I have this like desire to create. I know I have this, feeling inside of me. I've loved crafting my whole life. I've loved, cutting things with scissors my whole life. I love, drawing. I love painting. I love creating. I've known that about myself, that I love making art, but I didn't know where to start or what to do. I felt, kind of lost. And so this daily practice really helped me to A, get the confidence in myself that I can do it, and B, it taught me that I didn't have to do it all overnight. I didn't have to learn everything overnight. I didn't have to make it hard for myself. I didn't have to make myself super, super, super uncomfortable. It was like so small that it didn't feel like a lot. It didn't feel overwhelming. It felt easy. And that's another thing. It's like, you kind of want it to feel easy. Like, let it be easy for yourself. Like, let your doodling feel fun. Let it feel easy. Let it feel flowy. Let it feel creative. Like, you really don't need it to feel hard. You don't have to make it overcomplicated. And so, yeah. Oh, and then it accumulates. It grows. You get better. And before you know it, like, you're creating art that you would never even dreamed of. Like, this painting behind me, it's just like the muscle memory in my hands, the movements of how my hands move, it's like this consistency that my body just remembers how to do it, and it becomes comfortable. But it started uncomfortable, and you have to work through it to become comfortable, and to make it fun for yourself, to make it easy for yourself. So let it be easy, let it be fun. Start small and grow incrementally. And I guess I also want to talk about like social media and posting content and like speaking publicly, because in today's, day and age, I know a lot of my friends are building brands and building businesses, and they always come to me and they're like, how do you talk like on TikTok? Like, how do you just like talk to the camera? How do you just like right now I'm literally talking to myself in a room. I'm literally talking to my camera, but it's like, I've practiced this. I've practiced public speaking. I've practiced speaking in front of people. I've practiced speaking in front of no one. And especially when you're practicing to speak in front of nobody, it's such a mind warp. Like, it's so weird when you first start. It's so uncomfortable to talk to yourself in an empty room. It's so uncomfortable because it's like so weird. It's so unnatural as a human to like talk to yourself. And so you really have to train your brain and retrain your thoughts so that like you're talking to the other person on the other side of the camera. And so again, like when I'm filming, I really have to mentally kind of like manipulate or trick myself into thinking I'm talking to my sister or I'm talking to my best friend. And I have to put my mindset in the position where I am talking to my best friend. I'm just giving advice to my sister. And so that's what allows me to come on here and speak to you guys like I am now. It was like over 2 years, honestly, When I first started TikTok, I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so awkward. I was like, this is so weird. I'm literally talking to myself into my phone. And it's not natural. I will just admit that. It's not a natural human experience, like throughout the time of history, to be doing this. So I think it's also like that's a whole thing. But at the same time, it's like you really do have to be a little crazy in the head to be able to do this. And I will admit it, like artists are super crazy, super creative, but I think crazy is a good and positive word, because I think when you're a little crazy, you're passionate, you're motivated, you don't care that it feels weird, you don't care that it's awkward, you don't care that you have to, trick yourself into thinking that it's not weird and just doing it anyways. Like, you kind of just have to be a little crazy to do stuff like this. And I think that that's what's cool about us, is that we are crazy, we are passionate, we are creative, we are willing to look stupid, we are willing to, have fun, we're willing to be silly, we're willing to make mistakes. And that's what makes us so special, because that's the other thing too, I think that's really, important to talk about, is like the perfectionism and overcoming, perfectionism, because you don't want to be like a robot. You don't want to be like, who wants to be perfect? Like, I was watching the documentary about Martha Stewart, and like everything she said was like perfection and being perfect and being perfect. And they talked about how like her perfectionism ultimately like led to her downfall. And it's like, no one is perfect. No one is 1,000,000% perfect. Everyone is quirky. Everyone has flaws. And just like acknowledging it and accepting it and knowing that it's okay to be messy, it's okay to be scrappy, it's okay to just like be yourself. Like, honestly, like, it's okay to just be weird. It's okay to sit on your couch in a fun little like lax t-shirt and sweatpants and say what you gotta say on the camera. So I hope that this video inspires you guys to get out of your comfort zone, to try something new in just small little increments every single day, to practice sofrosini. And honestly, this whole idea, like bringing it back to sofrosini, it's like you really have to mentally discipline yourself. That's what it is. That's what I mean, like, of that mental like manipulation. It's not even manipulation, it's mental discipline. It's like, I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this because I know it's going to bring opportunities for me. I know it's going to bring joy to me. I know it's going to bring education and encouragement and inspiration to anyone who watches it. It's not just me being selfish, like, oh, I need to tell people this, but it's to help others. And so I think too that mental discipline is so helpful in, staying consistent and staying on track and staying focused to achieving your goals. Because a lot of the times, you are capable, you are able to do the thing that you want to do, but your mind blocks you. Like, your mind stops you from doing the thing. And so when you're able to recognize that moment where your thoughts are getting the best of you, where your thoughts are telling you this is too hard, stop. When your thoughts are telling you I can't do this, or I'm uncomfortable, or I'm scared, or someone's gonna think I'm weird, or like, you catch it. You catch the thought like a fish on a hook. You catch the thought and you notice it. And that's what sofrosini is all about. It's about noticing those intrusive thoughts that are stopping you and killing your potential. You notice the thought, you fish it out, you throw it away, and that allows room now for the positive thoughts to come and live inside of your heart. It allows room for God to live in your heart. It allows room for you to express yourself freely and to not be scared and to do what you gotta do. And so I really hope that this inspires you guys to take action today, to do the thing that you love, to stop letting your negative thoughts control you, and to flip the script in your mind, and to allow your mind to be a place that feels happy and grows flowers, and pick out all the weeds. Maybe you could think of it like that too. Like, your mind is a garden, and like the negative thoughts are just little weeds, and every time you see it coming through the crack, you have to just pluck it out, so that way the beautiful flower can grow through that crack. And so that is all for today. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. And if you guys want to join, I am starting up our membership. And so we had a membership and it's coming back. It's called the Create Eudaimonia membership. And inside the membership, you're going to get access to our 45-day challenge where I show you guys how to find your own artistic art style through drawing every single day for 5 minutes a day. Again, I know the process. I've been through it myself. I've taught this to my art students when I taught high school, and I know how hard it is to get started. And so this is exactly what we're going to be doing inside of the program together. Once you join the membership, you're gonna start with Abstract Art Academy, and it's 5 minutes a day, little snippet, short and sweet videos, very easy, very calming, very approachable. It's not scary to learn art. It's not overwhelming. It's not too many art supplies. All you need is literally a Post-it note and a pen to get started. Those two things only. You don't have to go shopping and spend $1 million on art supplies. You don't have to like go to art school and do all this crazy stuff. Like, all you need to do is come inside the membership, start the 45-day challenge. You're gonna start by filling up the page with lines, and then the next day you're gonna fill up the page with circles, and you're just gonna start and take tiny baby steps getting back into your creative practice. And by the end of those 45 days, I'm going to have you be looking at your own photo memories, because you guys know I always create inspired by the ocean in Greece and my memories from Greece. Everything I create is from my life. And so we're gonna have classes inside the membership where we talk about how to live creatively and how to photograph your life, how to capture your life through photographs, but also how to create moments for yourself that inspire your artwork. Because you can't make art without moments and memories and living your life in eudaimonia. You really can't. You cannot make art if you're not living in eudaimonia. You have to travel. You have to go see people. You have to take pictures and document what your eyes are seeing in the world and what brings you joy. And so you really have to photograph things, and that's what inspires me in my drawing. So we're gonna start with baby steps, and eventually I'm gonna get you guys to draw on a big piece of paper at the very end your own photo memories. And so I'm gonna take you through all the art things that you need to know, how to make art look cool, and all the special art stuff. It's basically art school condensed into 45 days, and it's amazing. So once you get inside the membership, you will start with Abstract Art Academy, and then I have so many fun things planned for this membership, you guys. There's going to be creatives, all of us that are creative, we're all going to be together in that group chat every single day. I'm going to be sending you guys voice notes and encouragement and extra trainings and audio trainings. And also we're going to be doing Zoom calls together, like live, where we talk and we get to mastermind, and you guys get to share your ideas, collaborate with me, and really tell me about your experiences, tell the group about what you're experiencing, and share your work with us. And we will critique it, and we will look at it together. We will say, this is great, maybe you can add this or add that or whatever. Like, that's I love. That's literally what I love about art, is looking at art together, critiquing together, creating together. And so inside of this community, you're gonna have other like-minded creative artists who are just starting out, who love creating, who want to create a creative lifestyle, even outside of drawing, even in every other part of their lives. They want to create gardens, they want to, cook, they want to, make beautiful meals for their family. They just want to create a beautiful life for themselves. They want a beautiful home. They love styling. They love thrifting. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun inside this membership. Every month is going to be a little bit different and super fun. So if you want more details, make sure to go to the link in my bio or the link down below and check it out for yourself. It's $30 a month, and you get our Abstract Art Academy included and all this other additional crazy fun stuff inside the membership. So super worth it. I love you guys so much. Let me know if you have questions about it. And without further ado, we'll be back next time. Next time we're going to be focusing again on Sophrosini, but instead of the mental discipline, next episode we're going to be talking about the physical discipline it takes to create eudaimonia. So physical discipline meaning your environment, meaning movement, exercise, nutrition, one of my favorite topics to talk about, and how all of that influences our creative practice and our life and creating joy in our life. So without further ado, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for listening. It would mean honestly so much to me if you could share this with a friend. You guys know I'm just getting started, and so sharing this with someone who you think would like it means a lot to me. Liking this video, commenting, let me know your thoughts, let me know any takeaways you had from watching this. I would love to hear what you guys have to think about it. Give me feedback, send me questions that you want me to cover, and yeah, we'll just keep going and talking and sharing knowledge and philosophy, and you guys get to be, you know, my little sister and get my big sister advice. All right, anyways, I love you. Bye.